Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Cobra Eagle here. How are y'all doing today? Hopefully this is working. I really have no idea. Everything's kind of loud. Turn that down a little bit. And let's see. Yep, that. So it's going to be a minute until I make sure that everything's actually running the way it's supposed to. And let's open up Discord. And let's see. Okay, so it looks like a video going now. Now that really isn't. Okay, here we go. Can you guys see anything? There we go. There's a video. All right. Starting to cook with gas now. Man, this is not straightforward at all. Looks like we got Raisin, Jessica, Potato. Can we get the volume up a notch? Probably. Maybe. A little better. Push the mic volume up just a little bit too. So hopefully that works. So yeah, we're giving YouTube a try today. They have this nice little analytical thing that's actually kind of cool to see. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it goes well. But I'm glad to see that people have come over. I inadvertently created a what do you call it? Well, I didn't inadvertently create it. I did it on purpose. I created a schedule or a scheduled event, and then when I went in to do it, it didn't ask to do the scheduled event. It instead did just whatever. So I have to figure that out to make sure that it actually all works. So until then, we're just going to continue to fight with it as is and go from there. So, all right. How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully everybody's doing well. It does tell me how many viewers I have and everything, so that's cute. But, Potato, how you doing today? How was your day off from school? All right. They can be a bit sketchy. Yeah. Stream health, what's this? Oh, they actually want me to use a bitrate of 9500. That's going to continue to tell me that throughout the entire thing, so. Luis, welcome. How are you? I'm doing really well, Jessica. Thanks for asking. All right, so let's go ahead and go to here. And we'll get started with what we've been doing. Duty! Hello! I'm having to read everybody's names that are like super, super tiny. So if I miss something, I'm sorry. Can I pop chat out? Man. Cancel. Alright, that's a little bit better. So I now have my chat over on the other side, so that'll change where I look most of the time, but I've still got my entire command center here, so we can see me looking around all over the place. So we're going to go ahead and here, get into the game. Turn the sound down just a little bit. I don't have anybody labeled as mods yet because I hadn't figured out how to actually do that. I mean, Stream Elements made it easy, but beyond that, like finding people is a little bit different because everybody's got different accounts and whatnot, so I'll have to take care of that. Oh, it's Travis. Hello, how are you? Glad to see you made it over here. That's awesome. Trying the stream on YouTube today. And we're going to just see how this goes. I'm glad the quality is really good. Thanks, Raze. And thank you for helping me get that set up. I actually am using, I believe, CPU encoding today. So it should be a little bit better. than maybe what we have seen in previous. Oh, there we go. Look at that. We have Travis being the first sub that we have on the channel. So I did adjust that alert because we're not going to see that very much because they don't have bits over here. So I went ahead and made it the sub alert. So I wanted to give you guys something that you enjoyed and made some adjustments. And welcome so much to Cobra Company. How you doing? And that way we can see it all the time. Oh, look at you. Look at you. Yeah, right, bitch. Breaking my shit? Because you're thirsty? There's a fucking drink thing right over here. You angry animal? Choco Latte Monkey, hello. How are you? Welcome. Glad to see you here. You are going to get your ass ejected. How do I do that? Eject group, because you are being a bitch. Man, now I want to unsub and resub. Ah, but see, that's one of the cute things about YouTube is that doesn't work. I shouldn't have said that because I would have liked to have seen Potato do that. But nevertheless, that is something that does not work here. So if you've already subbed, like the way YouTube does it, turning it back on doesn't actually do anything for you. Oh, look at you outside of the habitat. That's cute. I don't know how you managed to do that, but hey, Fat, come on, go over there. Get him, get him, get him, get him. Choco, Duty, how are you guys doing today? Just going to let the zoo run and just see if there's any kind of major issues. That's what I forget for subscribing last night when I wasn't on. Sorry. All right, so we're going to check crime. And you can see we have a couple of things that we need to replace. Our guests are mad because they're still thirsty. Hopefully in a little bit of time that'll get fixed, because it takes, as you put these things in here, it takes some time for that to kind of resolve itself. But especially over here, we have a shop here, we have a shop here, we have another shop here, and actually what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put another set of shops down in here, because we should be able to do this fairly quick without too much effort. We're going to put a drink shop, an information booth, and then two of the what do you call it? I think my internet just pooped itself. Can we get poop emojis? I don't even think I have like emojis that you guys can use yet or anything. I know it's possible to get them unlocked and stuff like that, but I don't know how to do that yet. So we're going to have to wait to figure that out too. Nope, not elf. Back to the keyboard. Thank you. All right. So let's get in here. Let's go ahead and do some editing. And let's go in here. Guest facilities. I want one more drink stall. Let's do a Street Bucks coffee, because that's exactly what you need in the hot area. Oop. There we go. Jessica found the poo emoji. Poomoji. That almost sounds like you're saying something like really naughty. All right, let's go ahead and give these clowns a Hat's Fantastic and a balloon thing. And the Just a Memento works, but the thing that I notice about Just a Memento is that you don't really notice that the guests have used it. With the hats and the balloons, obviously you see tons of balloons everywhere. You see guests wearing all the silly little hats they were able to buy. And now we'll be able to see all of the different things they do. This will probably make this area even busier. That's okay. I kind of expected it making it kind of a main thoroughfare, but that's why there's other paths to get around. So they're not locked into going just that way, because guests can go up here, they can come around that way, everything else. I think you have to be partner. Yeah, I don't know. And I don't even know what the tiers are here, because obviously subscriptions here mean following, where what Twitch calls subscriptions are members, where you pay the content creator to do the things that they're doing. Also, if you guys haven't done so already, please consider giving this video a like, as well as the like, or take a look at the overall video that I created that was just a zoo tour of this as well. I will probably update that periodically, just add like little bits of it, and then maybe do some of the other zoos that I've built, just to kind of have some additional content there. But if you guys wouldn't mind going over there and, you know, like it, dislike it, whatever you want to do, doesn't really matter. The interaction is really kind of what's important. And I would really appreciate that. I don't think so. It still looks like it's going. I just haven't moved around in a minute. Info. Because I mean, I can see the preview on my side screen here, and it's still working. That's entirely too large. I think part of it might be that I am streaming at too high of a bit rate. So I might have to dial that down, even though YouTube claimed that they were more than happy to accept a really, really high bit rate. Let's do Control X and then do this sign. You can't see the stream. It's broken. What are you watching on, Potato? Are you watching on a computer, your phone? It works. Well, Razum says it works, and he's in Sweden, so. Potato, you were probably actually the closest person to me. Oh, that's right. We did this where we actually had these kind of sunk in to the... Oh, that's not going to work. Scheiße. That doesn't work either. You see a black screen and a turning circle. That might actually be for the reason for me. I had the same issue at first, Potato. Well, and this is definitely like our opportunity to learn what we need to change, whatnot. Even YouTube is saying that I shouldn't be at high of a bit rate. I just can't change it midstream. So I'd either have to stop and come back, which I think, I don't think it would generate anything too crazy. Because it's interesting the way YouTube does it. It's almost like there's a little container that the live stream is in. And so if I stop in the middle of it, it'll effectively pause it. It's kind of weird. So I guess because this is just not going to work, we're going to take it and set it to the side here. Because none of these signs, because I mean, that one's obviously gargantuan. That's super deep too. So I guess we can just do this at this point. Put that here. And then over here, we weren't going to have that option, but this is Street Fox. I think a lower bit rate would be good in the future. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I have a feeling that would be a probably good thing. So if you guys want, I can stop and try to change the bitrate real quick and then come back and see if that kind of fixes it to minimize the problems, because the bitrate coming through live while, you know, there's the whole transcoding thing, your device still has to be able to actually accept that much data, which, I mean, that's a huge amount of data to be pushing through. So let me just finish decorating this. If you low quality, it works. All right, and then Loon. And of course, these are epic in size too. All right, Control X. Now I'm on max. Okay. Well, that's good. So just mess with the quality and it fixes it? All right. Yeah, just really don't like the way these are. Oh, you know what I could do? Yeah, we're going to do that, I think. So we're going to have to fix this. All right. So what we're going to do is we're actually just going to get a couple of boards and use that to push these signs away from here instead. And that way we can just basically center them where we need them to be and it'll be okay. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll just pull this stuff away first. That way it's out of the way. I'm actually glad it's really easy to select these. Travis, were you able to get it fixed? And is anybody else having any issues? Because I don't mind stopping and like changing it if we have enough people who are having problems, but you guys just got to let me know. Because I'm happy to do what we can to maximize the participation. Ooh, actually would. Let's see here. Editable sign. Blank. This is what I wanted, I think. I think what we can do is... Are you... Yeah, you're just barely thick enough. Is there something else that I can use? You're just entirely too large. The sound blips every once in a while, but it's gotten better. Okay. We'll keep sticking with it until we run into any major problems. And then I was talking with Razum about this before. This is one of the things that I was a little like concerned about was just like what are the things that are going to happen? You know, how is this going to be different? What's going to be like wrong or messed up or whatever that's going on in here. Look at that. We actually have people in the Discord hanging out as well. That is awesome. Glad to see that. I think it's been an eternity since that's happened. So what we'll do is, I think we're going to have to do something like this first. Let's go ahead and get you put down. And then, yep, perfect. And then we'll slide you up like this. And we'll do another one down below. And then we'll flip it 180. All right, perfect. I think now I'm saying perfect all the time instead of fine. So we might have to work that in somehow. All of the sounds are gone too. Those are things that... Oh, shit, that was something I meant to do. Let's actually do that real quick while I'm thinking about it. Loyalty. Not loyalty. Elements. Partnership spot. Module. Okay. Twitter, 8ball. Oh, they don't have loyalty for YouTube? There's got to be, I guess maybe there's not a way to earn? That's weird. Nope. I guess there's really not anything here. Well, that kind of sucks. Sorry about that. We'll still find ways to like let people interact and do different things in the channel. We just have to get those things worked in there. All right, so I think what we're gonna do is we can now just grab this. Nope, that's not gonna work. So let's do this. Trying to think of what the best way to do this would be. Okay, I know what we can do. Let's do control. Yeah, I do think in Streamlabs it does have that as an option. It's just a little annoying that we would have to do it that way, but... So I'll have to look into that too as a way to kind of give points back, because I know a couple of other YouTubers who are using like they're using Streamlabs as their kind of go-to thing. And I mean, you can obviously use multiple entities if you need to. So, is there issues for you, Duty? That's great. Good to hear. I still think we will try to reduce the bandwidth or the hell's it called? What's the name of that thing? The bit rate for next time, just to see if that helps minimize some of the problems that we're having. All right, enjoy dinner, Jess. Let's see. That just wants to snap there. So let's go ahead and get that like this. And like that. I'm sorry, Potato. Okay, so actually what we can do here is we can slide that back so the metal goes away there. And I can slide it down just a little more so it's kind of where we want it. And then, now this will be the thing that's kind of fun. We'll have to slightly adjust it depending on what we're having hung up. Are you on your phone then, Potato, or did your computer reboot? All right. I think we're about there. It'd probably be easier if I could... Oh, and I wasn't just trying to line up the arrow. Potato was doing too much multitasking. That I do not doubt in the slightest. All right, and then what we can do is basically just attach the sign like that, and then we can bring it down. And now we have something that is holding the signs away. And while we're still a little close to the top there, that's all right. I'm good with that. So let's go ahead and see if I can select that little bit. You, and you. And again, the main reason for doing something like this is because now whenever I go ahead and like place it down, it makes it that those pieces move on the grid instead of D. Instead of having to try and get them to line up the same exact way. And we already saw that it was going to be a little bit squirrely in the way that it was going to like let us do anything. Bye, Raisin. All right, Raise. Thanks so much for coming by. Appreciate the feedback. You have a great night, and I hope to talk to you soon. The stream may not be loading because of the bitrate that we're using. One of the things Potato tried was adjusting the quality settings. He went down to low and then came back up to high, and that seemed to fix it for him. I can't make any promises it'll fix it for everybody, but that's a potential solution as we continue to fight with this new thing that we're doing here. Let's go ahead and get that attached. Like trying to peer around it, like that's somehow going to help me. All right, go ahead and get you right about there. And so you can see that Street Bucks, or not Street Bucks, I don't know why I keep calling it Street Bucks, because I think I'm thinking Starbucks, but Street Fox Coffee. The little nubbin is just a little too high, so we'll just go ahead and do that. Because they don't all have to be exact or anything. As much as I like everything to be pinpoint accurate. Part of this is just we're working through a kind of a new problem, and we should be okay. So let's go to hats. Oh, because it's apostrophe S. All right. And we should be able to put this guy up here. The other thing that's actually kind of nice is the signs do snap to that. And then from there, we just need to adjust how high it might be. So if I really wanted to, I could fix it that way. But we'll just leave it as is. But it does actually make this component a lot easier, because then I can just do that. And the same thing here. Now this one's going to be a little bit squirrely. These signs like to snap on the side, but it's really easy to just get them flipped around. And like this. And now we aren't touching it, so we will have to pull it back a little. And you can even see that, like, even though the pizza sign, we thought we were getting it right up against it, it doesn't actually snap quite against it, which is a little annoying, but you know, we'll make do. So we'll check the other ones that we did that with, just to make sure that everything's touchy-touchy. All right, so we can see that that's a little low here. So maybe what we'll do is we'll take this one and we'll just slide this down, because obviously these would really be adjusted based on like what's going on with the actual signs when we're doing it. All right, so these signs look good. And there we go. Okay, perfect. So now we have all of this stuff figured out, fixed. Why is my computer going to sleep so quickly? Power and sleep settings. I swear something in here is changing it. Very mad at Microsoft today. Every time I reboot this computer, it's like, oh, we want to go into power saver mode. No, power saver mode is not allowed. Past its bedtime. All right, and now all we have to do is come in here and just delete these stupid little wall segments that we placed. And then everything will be good. And then we can move on to the next project. So we'll go ahead and let it play while we finish this up. And this should obviously generate a lot more traffic in here because we have a lot more guests that'll have various needs for things in here. You can already see that people are going to get coffee, which is great. And now it is time to start taking a look at some of the other things that we can do. All right. So I was talking about this in the tour video, where I was giving consideration to running a path off of this and have it come around the edge of our little prison thing here and kind of on the outside of our overall structure here. And we may still have it connect up and come through like another gateway like this. But that way we can use this as some sort of habitat. So while we're in here, I'm going to go ahead and take a look and see what we can get going. And even if we have to narrow the path a little bit, I mean, I normally like to try to use the 8-meter path, but it may just be too wide for up here. And then, of course, you know, we're going to run into this whole, like, we got to fight with it nonsense, because that's just how it is. I don't even know. So part of the problem is there's paths down underneath, and so it's snapping to those, which is really annoying. Now, if I hold control, I can get it to stay where I want it to. And then we'll just try to go around the edge here, and then we'll just see if this will actually connect up. So it looks like it would connect there. I could almost do that if I wanted to, so that's a possibility. Let's see if we can get this to come this direction, and then maybe... So that doesn't look like it wants to connect to anything here. But let's go ahead and shrink this down and see if that helps. I mean, that obviously makes it fit in there, but is it going to connect? So I did see a little bit of... All right, so let's undo a couple things here. Yeah, so that's what I would really like it to look like. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that happen. And I think part of it's because this is elevated. And so we can get it connected like we did. It just obviously means that we would have to take out one of these little pillars, that wouldn't be a big deal, and it would pretty much snap right to it. And then we could also just get rid of these rocks or slide them down a little. So that is a possibility as well. So let's go ahead and delete all that. And we can take it back up to 8 because that was going to work. Because this segment here is 8. And so we'll just leave it like that for now. I need to come in here and we're just going to go ahead and flatten the terrain. And it's just so I have this where I can get a path to kind of snake around it without having any sort of squirrely whatever. Now, I don't want to use anything too powerful because I do have underground stuff here that I don't want the dirt to just all of a sudden be like pushing into. So that's why we're using just like a 5, because that should get us a flat enough surface here that we can work with. And then we can actually probably even start trying to get a bonobo habitat in up here. Like I said, we would just make some adjustments. I would probably just then take this fence 90 degrees this way and duplicate it and then make another side over here, just so we at least had a little bit of something. And we might even continue some sort of fencing along the edge here up at least until about this rock. And that way, even if we had animals in here, well, if we had animals in here, they could probably climb it, especially if we do bonobo, because they are climbers. And so we would have to take that into consideration. But I'm just trying to find different ways to maximize the space that we have. So let's go ahead and get started on this. All right, so I think I'm probably flat enough on my terrain there. Now, I don't want this to just like come out like that, because then it's just going to come right in here. And you saw when we were doing it before, we were able to kind of get that to snake around. So if I do this right, I think if I put something like this here, I can get something like maybe a 45. No, actually, let's not do that. Let's do, because I also want to get the path kind of close to this structure, so we can just kind of like utilize that as part of our what do you call it? Just like part of the way that the whole thing's looking up here, that we just have these spaces and whatnot that are kind of filled in with foliage and stuff like that without having to do like giant swaths of space. I'm just trying to decide if I like this curvature or not. I don't know, because it looks a little squirrely to me. So let's undo that and undo. Maybe we'll, because I might, that's even worse. I can also hold control, and then you can see that now it's trying to like snap it down there. Let's maybe go ahead and put you right here, and then so that curve is a little bit better. Like I like that a little more, and then we should be able to kind of do some sort of smooth-ish path around this way while still leaving a little bit of a gap along the edge here. And then we'll do something like that here. And now we should take a look at the negative radius of this thing. While we're doing this, we're not experiencing anything crazy there. And then this will actually be really good, because depending on what we do, we can actually make whatever this little path might be here, because we're going to do something with potentially another habitat animal up here. And it might be that this is just a little bit of a walkthrough area, and then this and this path kind of come together in front of where the main building will be for our castle. And so our wall would probably, we would probably actually have something very similar to this wall here, right, maybe like right here would be how we would do that. And so I think that actually is what we'll go ahead and do. So let's go ahead and duplicate this, bring you over here, and we'll spin you right round a little and slide you back this way. And I'm just going to go ahead and try to get this where it's like kind of perfectly straight along the edge here, instead of trying to do any crazy curves or whatever. And then it's really just a matter of trying to get these pieces to kind of line up. So we're going to do this first and just try to get that so they're mostly flat. Now, obviously, when I pull it through, you're not going to know where it was or wasn't effective. And so we'll just go ahead and then pull this to about here, because I think that should be pretty decent for where I would want that to kind of sit. Let's go ahead and take a look over here. I don't think it really is going to much matter, because again, it's not like the pieces are just where exactly we want them to be, and it should work out. All right. Awesome. And so one of the other reasons why I kind of elected to come to YouTube was you get better bandwidth, because obviously you can see I'm streaming at 25,000 megabits or 25,000 kilobits, which is 25 megabits per second upload, which is insane. But the other thing that I really like is I like that once I'm done with this, it's basically just a published video and it stays there forever, instead of having to like either recreate a new video, repost it somewhere, or something like that. And so I really kind of like that as a feature of this platform. And I think with stuff like Planet Zoo and whatnot, it's a good opportunity to just kind of see like where you're at when you're like doing or like having the stuff out there and be discoverable by people who are looking to watch this kind of content. So now we have this kind of on the outside. We have that on the outside. And part of the reason we have it that way is because already it's peeking into the corners here. Hello, potato. And so I was thinking about trying to take these buildings and slide it over and this way so I could create a more consistent look on the outside of the wall. But then what we end up with is more of this on the inside here, which, I mean, I do kind of think is ugly, but I mean, there's not a whole lot I can do about it if I want to do it this way. So everything's still looking good for me, but all right, so let's go ahead and do this. And of course, this is going to piss off the Discord gods too, but let me just finish adjusting this real quick. And then I will stop the stream. I'll reduce the bitrate down to 9500 like it suggests, and then we'll see where we're at, and we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and save the game first before I do anything. And we're going to go ahead and end the stream. So I'll be back hopefully in just a minute. Hopefully it doesn't require a new link or anything like that. I should be able to just bounce right back into here and go from here. So we'll see what happens here in just a minute. So talk